Hey, what's going on folks? My name's Gray, you're watching Consoletronix, and having recently been reduced to the level of primitives on account of being without the internet the last week and a bit, I had plenty of time on my hands in order to reflect on my career on YouTube as a retro-themed content creator, and it got me thinking of retro as a whole, because while nostalgia rightly plays a large part of it, it shouldn't be the cut-off point. And with that in mind, I bring to you Gun Dec, aka Vice Project Doom, a fantastic game released in late 1991, just as both the Sega Mega Drive and Super Nintendo were becoming the only shows in town as the 16-bit era dawned. And while the NES may no longer have had top billing in the increasingly cutthroat world of video games, its installed user base of many millions of units all over the globe and the slashing of its price in order to remain relevant meant that there were lots of NES owners, both old and new, who were still on the lookout for new releases. Unfortunately, it also meant that bar a few select titles, most of the games released for the machine at this time have been lost to history. But as someone who never owned a NES to begin with, I've always had more of an objective view of its library, without the dead weight of nostalgia. So when I tell you that a game is good and you need to check it out today, it's not because I remember it being good, it's because it is good. Vice Project Doom is a cyberpunk all-action platform shooter with a real mix of familiar styles, including top-down Spy Hunter-inspired driving sections and even a crosshair-flinging shooting gallery. But while many games have tried spicing things up with multiple gameplay modes, few ever succeeded. But Vice PD makes it work because it all serves the excellent platforming section so well. And while you don't have to look too deeply to see its gameplay inspirations, most notably Ninja Gaiden, its lack of originality rarely factors into it as you traverse the enemy-strewn levels, switching between your three modes of attack: sword, gun and grenades, and trust me, you'll never have the luxury of relying on any one of them for too long, as the enemies come thick and fast. It's relentless. And linking it all together is a very cool sci-fi story that, like the gameplay, doesn't have much in the way of new ideas. But they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so prepare to be flattered sincerely with some hard-boiled Blade Runner-esque sci-fi silliness that does its job in filling in the blanks, but 8-bit NES games weren't exactly famed for the quality of their storytelling, but it's a nice touch. Now, Vice Project Doom, like contemporaries released at around the same time, such as Little Samson or Mighty Final Fight, have become quite the prize, with online sellers demanding eye-wateringly steep prices for a copy. So unless you're a drug dealer or something, it's probably the emulation route that you'd be best to take. And I strongly recommend you do, as this is one of the few NES games that has really stood the test of time. Its difficulty is balanced just right, keeping you on your toes even when you know what's coming and from where, as well as some terrific boss encounters, who will prove to be formidable obstacles until you figure out the trick to defeating them. Overall, in the pantheon of great platformers for the NES, Vice Project Doom may be the least well known, but given a chance, it still has the power to impress. So my name's Gray, thank you for joining me on this look at an underappreciated 8-bit action title. More videos coming your way very soon, so please like, share, comment and subscribe, and until the next time, goodbye.